My name is François. I'm a product owner at Odoo. My job at Odoo is actually to analyze and understand how you use our application in order to make sure that we can improve them so that you get the best of what Odoo can offer. I'm in charge of applications such as documents, spreadsheet, dashboard, e-learning, and some other applications. But today I'm here to talk to you about industry modules. So I'm fully certain you've already heard some stuff from my colleague that came before me. But I'll start by introducing a bit for those who haven't what industry modules are. Then I'll give you some context about the industry, the surveyor industry, which might look a bit odd for some of you. Then I'll perform a demo use case and I'll wrap it up with a small conclusion. So here we go. So industry modules. Why are we developing industry modules? Well, after implementing Odoo databases at customer, we noticed that usually companies don't have a lot of time nor resources to allocate to the follow-up of the project. The consequence is that it might take a lot of time to implement databases where actually the flow that they require is fairly simple to put in place. So that's why we came up with this solution, which is to propose pre-configured databases specific to industry in order to fit as many needs as possible. The installation of those industry modules are fairly easy. You can simply start a trial. So you go to odoo.com/trial. You start your database with, by filling your information. Then you go to the App Store, and you'll see on the App Store that there is a new tab in the apps called Industries. In this industry, you should look for the industry that fits your business the best. Then you install it. You can decide if you want demo data or not, and then you're almost ready to go. But what are they really made of actually? So it's a full package that includes everything that you can see on the slide. So data configuration, studio customization. You might have automated actions, CSS, web pages, etc. What we do not include is Python code, meaning that you won't have fancy development in those modules. The idea is to remain simple to fit as many companies as possible. The good news is that because those are data modules, the community can participate and create their own, meaning that in the future, if you don't currently find your industries, you will be quickly, hopefully soon enough, you'll be able to find one. All right, so why choosing the surveyor industry? I'm fairly certain that there are not many surveyors in the room right now, as it is quite a niche market. But the reason is fairly simple. I used to work for one. I used to be a topographer and a draftman as a surveyor, so I know the business flow quite well. The second reason is that this flow can actually fit architects, garden architect as well, interior designer. So those kind of jobs fit actually in this industry modules. So long story short, I think it's better if we jump into Odoo so that you can see what we can do with this flow. All right. So here we are on our Surveyor website. 99% of the time, the prospect will reach out to a surveyor by accessing the website. They will look for the information they need, the services that the surveyor provide, and then they will fill in the contact us form. So let's do that. Yeah, Bruce Wayne, I love Batman. Let's put a number, my email, company, I don't have any company. I need, there might be different services that you might require to a surveyor. It can be a simple measurement of parcels, but it also can be parcels division if you want to split your parcel into smaller ones for resell, to resell them, or you might need some boundaries to know precisely where the limits of your parcels are. Let's start with let's request some boundary marking. I need boundaries on my parcels. Could you, oops, could you send me a quote, please? let's remain polite. This contact us form is almost the default one you get by creating a website using Odoo. The only thing I added is this field. This field would help the surveyor a lot because at some point it will require the parcel number to look for the information regarding the parcel you will need to measure. This is not mandatory because the address is sufficient, but if you have to look for the address, then the parcel, etc., it might take some time. So this is only in the idea of gaining some time. So let's create fake parcels number and submit it. All right, so now that it's submitted, let's jump into Odoo. Yeah, so I guess you all know Odoo, but this is the main screen where you look at all the applications. When a contact form is filled in the website, this will create a lead in the CRM. So you see that the request is here. You have some information about the, yeah, could you send me a quote, please? And the field that I added, so it's fairly simple to add, adds the number of the cadastral parcels in the other information nodes. Let's allocate a user to this lead. So that's pretty much it. You can see on the right-hand side that there is an activity that has been created. Surveyors, topographers, are often on the field. So what I did in this case is that every time there is a new lead coming in, there is an activity which is to call back the people within 5 days. So this sends an email directly to the surveyors and anyone that follows the lead. So let's edit the activity. Let's say that I called back Bruce Wayne. He says that he needs boundaries around his manor. Hopefully it won't be too big of a parcel because he has some issues with the neighbors. Neighbors. All right, so you can easily mark the activity as done, and you have the notes that are here. Now that Bruce explained to me what he really needs, I can send him a quote. So I can simply click on the new quotation. You can see that by default, I have a quotation template which is land measurement. Measurement is the basic service that a surveyor will provide. In most of the case, the surveyor will have to measure at some point. But in this case, we know that Bruce needs some boundaries on his parcel. So let's select boundaries marking. You can see that directly that all the services that we provide adapt themselves. If I had chosen parcels division, it would have be different as well. So we have our services. Based on the parcel number, we know the size of the parcel. So we know that it will take something like 8 hours to measure. The drawing might be tricky to draw the manor. So let's say that it will take 8 hours as well. As soon as we have the map, we can see where the boundaries will be set. Usually it's way quicker than doing the measurement. So let's say that's going to take 3 hours. We will need, I don't know, maybe 10 markers. And we're going to provide some print to Bruce so that he can give them to his notary to register the parcels. All right, so we have our quotation. We can send it by email to Bruce to see if he's okay with that. All right, hello, your quotation is attached, send. You can see on the right-hand side in the chatter that we store every conversation that happened between the prospect, still a prospect at this point, and ourselves. So we have the mail that has been sent. If I look at the mailbox, hopefully it will arrive. Yeah, here it is. So I'm in Bruce's mailbox. We have the email that came in with the quotation. He's gonna look at it. Yeah, that's fine. Yep, it looks nice. Let's Proceed. Thanks, Bruce. All right. So in a few seconds, the reply should come if the Wi-Fi agrees with me. Yeah, here it is. So Bruce is answered and he says that it's fine. So let's confirm the quote. You notice that now that I confirm the quote, I have a project that has been created with task in it and some hours to plan. So let's jump into the project. In this flow, every customer related to a sales order will get his own project. The project here is mainly to keep a track of the different services we have to provide to them, services to perform. You can see, for instance, that there is only the measurement, the drawing, and the marking. I don't have any tile for the markers themselves because I have them in stock, so I don't need to store this information, but I have to do that. Same for the printing, it doesn't matter. You could do that, you can adapt the template the way you want, but it makes more sense to focus on the main task. The big advantage by going through a project is that the project will create the items into the planning application, but it will also create a dedicated workspace in document for any exchange of material that we will have with Bruce afterwards. So let's jump into the planning. All right. So we're Wednesday. It's a bit late to start today, but let's say that tomorrow, Mark, which is our draftsman and topographer in this case, will go and measure Bruce's parcels. So as he's free on Friday, we can ask him as a draftsman to draw. You can see that now that I have allocated the land measurement, there is 0 hours remaining because I said that it would be 8 hours. So they're all filled in the planning. So let's do the same with the drawing. And next week on Monday, he will go set the boundaries, and we can say that he can go for 8 to 11, so that it makes 3 hours, 7 per week. So it's fairly easy for the surveyor to plan to schedule the workload of his team. In this case, there is only one people, but obviously you can imagine that if Mark would have only been the topographer and there would be another guy that would be the draftsman, you could split that and have different roles for each person. All right, so the planning is made. Let's say that Mark has performed his duties. Now, what he will do, as he has done the drawing, sorry, he will go to the workspace that is dedicated to Bruce. So let's rename it. So you see that it has the same ID as the SO, so that we can keep a trace of everything. We're gonna upload. Sorry, it's this one. We're gonna upload the maps that Mark created. All right. And what we can do now, we can share this workspace. When you click on share, you can see that there is a link that's created. We can add some information. You can name the workspace docs. You can specify if you want the subfolders, but there is none in this case. You can put a validity date if needed. You can also define if you want Bruce to be only able to download the material, or if you want it to be able to upload as well. In this case, for boundaries, that's download is sufficient because you won't require the customer's approval on that. But if Bruce would have asked for parcels division, usually you have some some exchange between the customers so that he can acknowledge and give this approval, sorry, on the maps and the split that has been proposed by the surveyor. So let's keep it as download. Yep. So you can see that there is a notification explaining that the URL for the share has been copied in my clipboard. So now it would be great if we could get Bruce to pay. So let's go back to the CRM. We can actually put Bruce as 1. And we're gonna go to the sale order. And here we can specify exactly the hour that have been performed on site. So as I mentioned, we only use the parcel number to define theoretically the amount of time that was needed. So let's say that yeah, there is a lot of woods in Bruce's parcel, so it's been trickier than expecting. Regarding the drawing, that was 8 hours was fine. Boundaries marking, because of all the trees, etc., it was tricky, so it was 5 hours rather than 3. 10 boundaries markers were enough, and the 6 printings were fine. All right, let's save that. Let's create an invoice. And let's confirm the draft. Yes, send and print. All right, dear Bruce, blah, 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 here is your invoice. Please use the number, and we're gonna add, please find your document enclosed. All right, and let's send it. All right, so we can see that the invoice has been created on the right-hand side, and at the bottom, the charter has switched to there because of the attachment. We can see that the mail has been sent to Bruce. So if we switch back to there, he received the invoice, which is here, and he also has a link to access his plans. He can download them. Oops. And he gave access to everything that he needs. I think that's pretty much it. If you have your bank account connected to Odoo, the payment can be registered automatically. In this case, it's not the case, so we can simply register manually the payment if needed. All right, I believe I completed my flow, so let's switch back to our presentation. So in conclusion, industry modules are there to help you be quickly up and running with your database, but that's not it, that's for the customer side. On the partner side, it might also be interesting to have those industries on hand so that you can easily set up a pre-configured database to perform your demo. As I mentioned, anyone can provide new industry modules. So if you don't find your industry quite yet in the App Store, just be patient and it should arrive quite soon. Thank you. If you have any question, feel free to reach out to me.
As always, everyone is invited to send some message to Francois regarding here the presentation that was done. So you can please use here the QR code to send your questions. So I'm going to start also with one question, Francois. How is it possible to adapt this database to, for example, some professionals that have a very specific needs? Is it possible to adapt and to create extra configurations?
Of course, you could imagine that as soon as you set the workload in the planning application of your team, you could send email saying to the customer, okay, we plan to come and measure on Thursday. But I find it tricky because as it can change, it's a bit specific. It might not fit anyone's need, but it's fairly easy to add. You can add any automated action on top of the modules.
That's good. That's good. And also, there are some questions also regarding the project management. How
Yeah.
is it possible to do the project management in this specific case of our industry?
What do you mean? In what regard?
I guess this is not very clear in our question here at
In
the pad today.
the way we used to do when I was working for the surveyor is that I use this Kanban view simply to remind me the different tasks I had to perform. Because in this case, it's fairly easy. You have simply you know, you have to measure, you know, to have to draw, you know, you have to go and put the markers on the parcels. But if you have, for instance, permit to write. There might be many actions you have to perform. You might need to reach out to the cadastral ministry to get the recording of the new parcels, etc. So depending on your needs, depending on the different action you have to perform, you can add a tile for each one and make sure that you fulfill all of them.
That's good. That's good. So, thank you, Francois.
Thank you.
Really good presentation here about the industry, and let's keep following other industry talk here from during our Odoo experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Francois.